Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. Beautiful You. I'm your host, Avan. Thank you so much for being here with us today. So, we have started the month of October, and it's a very interesting and a very exciting month for us because we have one episode every week coming out with very interesting guests. And today, for today's episode, we have Aditi Gandhi with us. She's 26. She's the founder of Sippofy Healing Juices. She's a young entrepreneur trying to change the world one person at a time, and she's surely succeeding at it. She has trichotillomania, which is a hair pulling disorder, since the age of 10. Her mental health journey has been full of ups and downs. Though she has chosen to walk on the road less taken by, she is very open about her hair loss and her mental health pressure that comes with it. She believes that free flowing conversations can bring new life changing perspectives with who you are and the relationships that we have with our body. Thank you so much for being here with us, Aditi, today. It's an honor.
The honor is mine.
Of course, yes.
I am really excited to be here with you and to talk about this because it's a very less known topic. Not a lot of people know, even though they have it, they are not very sure about it, about the term or the condition, or even have researched about their own mental health regarding trichotillomania. So I think I'm excited to talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I'm very excited to dwell into this conversation with you because, like you said, it is honestly, it is a topic that people don't talk about as much. I have been trying, I know that October is, so one of the, I think from 4th October till 11th, it's Trichotillomania Awareness Week. And I've been wanting to have a guest who would be talking about trichotillomania, but it's very rare to find someone who's so open about their journey and is, or even knows what it is exactly because sometimes people just think, oh, it's OCD or just anxiety coming up, but no, there's a lot more that goes into it. So it's actually very interesting how Aditi and I met. We were at we were at Battle of this, which is like the grand finale of the event, which is a national podcasting competition that was held in Mumbai, India. And we just happened to have a conversation about just what she is doing, what I'm doing. I was one of the, she was, I think you were needing some as a marketing person, right? Like you were there as like what?
No, I actually just came by because I was one of the Bloggers Alliance or like owner's friend. And I happened to run into him like 2 days ago before the event and he invited me. And I just came by, to like support people and just like, yeah.
That is so wonderful. So it's she was there to support people, and I was there as a grand finalist, I guess. And we just happened to have a conversation, and I was talking about the podcast and how anyone who has some like in their journey is welcome to be on the pod. I would love to share more stories and more journeys. And then she said she would love to be on the podcast, and I was like, perfect, that's amazing. And that's how we met, and now where we are. Not even like a week later, right? It hasn't been even a week.
Yeah.
One the efficiency.
Things go fast.
Yeah, we move fast. I love that. So we go out. What Yeah. So to begin with, could you tell us a little bit about what trichotillomania is, and also your experience with it?
So basically, trichotillomania is a body-focused repetitive disorder. So it is very similar to OCD, but it's not. So OCD is somewhere when you are obsessed with maybe cleaning, or you have to have things certainly in a particular way. But it is something that you keep repeating, right? In OCD. So even similarly, with body-focused repetitive disorder (BFRP), you do something which is regarding your body, but you repeat that action. So people bite their nails. Some people like just pull their skin around like this. Some people bite their lips a lot, or something like that. So mine is that I pluck my own hair. So I'll be sitting and I'll be like just like plucking my hair one by one, and I would not know it's extremely subconscious. But it's kind of like stress relieving kind of thing when I'm anxious or when I'm even happy. Any extreme emotion, if I'm feeling something which is not like mundane, basically, then I would be plucking my hair. And yeah, basically that is the disorder. But a lot of people, so I only pluck my scalp region, like my head. But trichotillomania is also like about your eyelashes, eyebrow, or any like hair, basically. from your whole body.
Yeah, some people can end up pulling their hair from their arms and legs as well if I'm not wrong. Yeah,
Exactly.
so it's like everywhere. Yeah. Okay.
But my experience has been with my hair, and it started like from when I was 10 years old, and I had like this huge two big ponytails that I used to wear, like oil it up and go to school, and but when I would come back, so the end of your ponytail, the knot, where the knot begins, there would be like hair fallen out, and at the start, my parents didn't know much, and obviously like they got scared. Oh my god, like such a small young kid, and she's losing her hair. So there was a lot of mental pressure to fix it. So there would be like different oils and different medicines and homeopathy and allopathy, and people used to take me for some religious sort of resorts and havan karayenge and all that, and it just it went blew out of proportion basically for the first few years when people didn't understand what it was. But eventually, my parents started noticing a lot that I'm plucking my own hair, and then they thought, oh my god, my child has gone crazy, right? So we went to psychiatrists, and still they were not able to, they didn't know that this is trichotillomania, which was like very surprising because you are literally the doctor of mental health, and they didn't know at that time that it was trichotillomania. It was 5, 6 years later. One of my friends saw some "Did you know" section in um in a newspaper, and she found out, and she's like, this does sound like something that you do, and we should research about this. And I didn't have like a lot of information, so we YouTubed it, and I ended up running into this lady called as Becky Brown. Becky Brown also had this, and she's vlogged about it ever since she was a young kid. And then I found out, oh my god, this is a real thing, and a lot of people across the world have it, and it didn't feel weird anymore. It felt like this is my natural element. And yeah, over the time, but nothing has changed about trichotillomania. Like over the years, you would say from day one that I might have started plucking. I still pluck the same way. It is still in my hair region. It is still because of the same emotions that I have, and it's there. Yeah.
So, first of all, thank you so much for sharing that with us. It's honestly the initial years sound horrendous to go with. It sounds so overwhelming as a kid, like ovens and religious like things, and yeah, that sounds exhausting, honestly. Yeah. It so like so you mentioned that over the time, though nothing has like changed in terms of trichotillomania, the reputations. So it's been same. And you also mentioned that you went to a psychiatrist as well for it. So after you got to know about it, and like after your friend told you about it, and after you got to know that this is what it is, did you go see another psychiatrist and your other mental health professionals after that?
Yeah, we did. I tried to, but they used to give me these medicines to, feel less. Basically, I used to feel like I'm feeling less. And I had made myself, the way that I was. I love having all these emotions. I don't mind if I'm feeling sad, I don't want to not feel sad. So, I don't know, over the period of time, I realized that I don't want to change who I am just to fix my hair. Like I was very okay with it. It was other people around me who were not okay with it. So I actually kind of learned that in therapy you need to be yourself, right?
Yeah.
And at the same time, it was contradicting. Like I was not myself if I'm not doing this. So I have met a lot of women, though other women, who are not okay with it, and they want to actually fix their hair and they actually want to do it. But I am not one of those because I don't have any anxiety or I don't have particularly depression. Um, but women who have that and trichotillomania, I think they suffer more and they kind of want to, be on the healing journey for trichotillomania also. But with me, I don't know, I left my therapy very young in my teen years only. And I go to therapy for other reasons, not for trichotillomania. But I feel like I don't want to fix it, basically. So I have made my peace with it long back, and I feel like it's kind of like a way for me to relieve myself, of my bad days, basically. So I kind of go with it.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. So yeah, how do you manage it at these days? Like without you're saying you go to therapy for other reasons, but how do you manage trichotillomania currently in the present?
Um, So what I do is so generally when I am out, or when I'm with my friends, or I don't wear my wig, I'm chilling, I'm being in my natural element. If I'm plucking, they are used to it because they know me since few years now. But when I'm like with my new people, or who I've just met and who I feel will be uncomfortable, because it's not something that normally people do, right? So they might get uncomfortable. Because at the time I'm wearing my wig, so as long as I have this wig on, I don't pluck. I don't go naturally, and I don't pluck basically my hair out. It's something that I've discovered over the years, that the wig wearing helps basically. But I can't keep wearing the wig. I have to remove it in like maybe 2 days ish or whatever, get it washed, get my hair washed, right? So but in my outside setting, at office, at my workspace, in my meetings and stuff, I wear my wig, and it basically does not it can prolong my triggers, if anything, basically.
Oh, okay.
So
So yeah. It's like basically it helps you release that tension off when you're plucking it, right? So not being able to do while wearing the wig will only prolong it. Makes sense. Interesting.
yeah.
So have you been able to be open about it with your in your workspace?
Yes, I'm very open for it, very communicative. So basically, before people have to ask, which might make them uncomfortable, I realize that. And I've noticed that over the years. I go and tell it myself. So, when you're introducing yourself, people usually use their titles. I'm Aditi Gandhi, I am this, and I've learned this, I've studied this, I came from here, whatever. Right? So, with that, in the same conversation, I kind of slip into it that, I also have this disorder. It's called Trichotillomania, but it's all under control, and I wear wigs. And so when you upfrontly tell them about it, like by yourself, the curiosity of it gets killed. So there is no scope of gossip, because now they understand you. Now they are on the same level with you. And because there is no scope of weirdness or anything, I think people don't feel weird about it from their end. And if they have questions, they generally come back to me. Like I've had somebody who came back to me after 2-3 months also in the same workspace asking, but listen, no, I wanted to ask, I've never seen you pluck. So why do you have to wear the wig? You cannot wear the wig, right? And this is like one of the common questions that people ask generally. And then I tell them, if I'm wearing the wig, I'm not plucking. But if I don't wear the wig, I might be plucking, and it might be weird for you, and it might not work out for us and all. And then they're like, okay. So yeah, basically, the more you talk about it, the more you normalize it. Is my see.
What's like an annoying question you get about Trichotillomania?
Oh, this is a good one. The most annoying question, oh my god, and I hate it so much, so much, is why don't you just stop plucking?
Oh my god, okay.
And I am like, wow, I never thought of it, huh? Thank you so much. It's been what, 16, 17 years that I have this, and not once did it occur to me that I should stop plucking. Oh my god. It is so annoying. And okay, so then I have to like in the early stages I used to be so mad. I was like, oh my god, how can you even ask this question? I am not doing this on purpose. I'm not like one day I woke up and I'm, what, this is my personality now, I'm gonna pluck my hair. It just does not make sense. It's not something I can stop doing, which is why it's the disorder. And then, I articulated it well over the years. And now I very calmly, very peacefully make them understand, like educate them basically. And do so smilingly so that they don't feel that I'm attacking them. And it's very important, because when you get enraged, they get enraged. So they get you have to smilingly, and you have to make them feel that they are in a safe space to ask you such questions. Okay. So I kind of tell them that, listen, I can't stop plucking. It's because this is a disorder. Just like, you can't stop having hiccups if you're having them. Or you can't stop having anxiety if you've ever had anxiety or panic attacks or a heart attack for that matter. It's a physical condition that you're feeling or you're having, and it happens to you. You are not doing it to yourself. And it's at the start, like over the years, 5-7 years, it was very subconscious. But the more I started to know about it, that, oh, this is Trichotillomania, I've read stories and I've watched videos and I've read things about my own disorder. So many things. Now you can say I'm Trichotillomania expert. I have realized that I've become very conscious. I have, observed myself, my pattern. I've understood who I am. And I have understood one thing, I cannot stop plucking. But what I can do is, I can channelize it better some days. I can make things not overpowering me. It's coming to me when I need it. Okay. So, I'm sure it's not the best mental health way to go about it. I'm sure it would be better if I go for years of therapy and actually solve it. But maybe right now I'm not ready for it. Maybe 10 years later, I would have like 5 years to invest only for this and, focus on this and maybe fix it. But right now I'm in peace with it, I'm in sync with it. It's coming to me when I need it, and it's not out of control. And I have worked really hard to get there. Like if my hand goes up and if somebody has stopped me, I've realized that, what I was doing this when I was plucking my hair. And maybe next time when I'm doing this, I can be a little more conscious of, be aware. Basically, is my hand going up? Am I plucking my hair? And when you tell them this, like when you explain all of this and, you give them one-on-one understanding of what happened to you and what exactly was, working out, basically the gossip stops and they're like, okay, we will not ask this again. And we feel more emotionally connected to you.
Yeah, of course. It's actually very interesting how, out of all the conversations that I have had so far with people, a lot of mental health conversations revolve around how other people should make you feel more comfortable and at ease. And so far, all I'm hearing from you is how you are trying your best to make it more comfortable for other people, because it's a disorder that not a lot of people know about, and it's just when there is not enough awareness, the conversations could get uncomfortable. But doesn't it like trying to, always be that person who makes it easier for other people rather than having the other way around?
Yeah. I mean, because they don't know. And I have noticed this. What people don't know, they're scared of.
Yes.
So yeah, you educate them and it becomes sometimes weird also. Some people don't accept it. It's not always that sab samajh jaata hai. Some people are like, no, aisa nahi hota and all that. And I'm like, I understand. And I hope that it would be okay with you that I'm weird for you. Live with it.
That's actually you're doing you're being so empathetic towards other people, and that's so inspiring to witness that. Because you're trying so hard and you're trying your best to, educate people about it. It's really not something that not a lot of people know about. I was talking to one of my friends. So I'm studying psychology, right? So we are in third year right now, and we know what trichotillomania is, but we don't have a lot of people coming up. We don't know these real life stories. So I was telling her that, oh, today I have a recording with her, and the episode is going to be out in October. Do listen to it. And she was I saw her eyes lighten up, because she was like, oh, what's so interesting? Because now we'll actually know someone who has been through it in real life and have a better insight. So honestly,
Yeah.
you're reaching out to so many people, and it's such good work. Thank you again for being here. I feel so honored to share this space with you.
My It's my pleasure. I'll repeat that because I really want people to know this. Even if one person hears this and be like, you know what, this is something I would be interested to know about. Or if I have this or my friend has this, and you know what, I'll be better next time.
Of course, yes. It's our work is done. The conversation is what makes it, normalize it. And like you said, people fear what they don't know about. So it's all about eliminating that fear and helping them understand what it is. Which brings me to one more question I have. I have actually a bunch of them. So another one. What's one thing you wish people ask you about? Like ask you more about?
Usually it's this. Why can't you stop plucking? Then it's also like, do you feel pain when you're plucking? Don't you feel pain? Like, don't you feel it's weird, like, that you're plucking your hair and it's hurting your scalp? So basically what I make them understand is, when I'm plucking my hair, the whole reason is not actually hair, even though it is a hair pulling disorder. It's the feeling that I get on my scalp. Okay, so this is a very interesting analogy that I have noticed also about my own body. When you get a mosquito bite,
Yeah.
okay, you get like the bulge.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to poke it. It's a universal thing. You have to poke it with your nail. And you do it, and it kind of feels painful, but pleasurable painful, right? Like, and after that, it kind of, it's like an itch which is soothing away once you poke it. Okay. So imagine that feeling, but 100 times more on your scalp that you're getting every time I'm plucking. So basically, it feels like self-harm to other people. But what I'm doing is I'm feeling good when I'm plucking it on my scalp. So basically, the sensation is on the scalp. Another question that people ask is, why don't you pluck hair of your own wig instead of plucking it on your scalp? Wouldn't that be better? And I'm like, it's not about the hair. I don't want the sensation.
Right.
Yeah, there is no sensation. So this is also something interesting that I like to tell people, and they're like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense." And people give me all sort of remedies after hearing this because everybody's trying to help me or somebody cares about me or something. And then they're like, you know what? You should oil your hair all the time, so it will be so slippery that it will not come out. Or you should oil your hands, or you should use some toys or something that you're fidgeting with like all the time. And even a therapist has suggested a couple of these remedies to me, by the way. But what they don't understand is that that does not work at all. I'll be sitting with one hand and I'll be plucking my hair with other. I have to pluck my hair and I will not realize that I've done that.
Yeah.
The minute, like, it will be like so smooth and naturally coming to me that I'll be like, okay, हाँ मैं movie देख रही हूँ, मैं खेल रही हूँ पर मैं pluck कर रही हूँ. You know, like it does not, it won't work that way. At least for me, this is it's based on personal experience that it does not work at all because it has to be hair plucking. It's very hard for me to make people come on the terms with this first that it has to be hair plucking, nothing else. I don't want to, but you know what? When I am in my best mental state, like maybe 3-4 months of my life, I'm having like the best life. For example, okay, nothing is going wrong in my life. My career is okay, or you know, I don't have any relationship issues with my friends or my family, and everything is going okay. Okay, so this has happened that my entire hair has completely grown. Okay, and like, okay, so basically, I don't have hair fall at all at this age till now. Okay, so my hair completely grows. Okay, so because I've not plucked at all. So what happens is, in that time, I'm channelizing it probably into other things that is making me even more happy, but it is only a temporary shift. I'm trying to make it a permanent routine, and I've tried some activities, and hopefully when I'm someday in my best state for more time, I might be able um, to master it. But workout is something that has worked. If I'm in my happy state, I do feel like plucking, right? But if I'm in my happy state and I'm working out, I'm not plucking.
So you're channelizing it into other activities. So
yeah, other activities. But more workout, like swimming or any sort of workout usually works like the best. But I have not been able to master it. Like after a few months, plucking will still come back. Like there is no way for me to avoid it permanently. But if it is working temporarily, I'm hoping that one day when I am in my best state and I have maybe a lot of money to, you know, be in a place where I can use my, like, you know, access my pool every day or something, work out every day and whatever. Like, you know, if things are more settled in my life, I think it is something I'm willing to experiment and be open to work out.
Oh, that's wonderful. So yeah, I'm so happy that you are able to like find other ways. Like you're so self-aware and you're aware about the other ways to manage it. And yeah, I hope you are able to get to a place where, you know, it's like a more consistent routine for a much longer period of time. So yeah.
Yeah.
And that brings me to another question. So how has trichotillomania affected your relationships with others, both personally, professionally, like both?
So it has definitely affected my relationships. Like mine, like from the start, if you think about it, it's always been my parents and my close relatives. So I was raised in a joint family. So my parents, my close relatives have been deeply affected by it. And especially the beauty part of it and not the mental health part of it, which should have been the case, right? So it makes, it definitely makes people judge me. But I know for one fact, which puts any judgment into perspective, that when people judge you on the basis of something that they don't know and they will never understand, especially if it is physical appearance, it speaks more about their upbringing and their insecurities, their small thoughts, and not you, right? So it I don't feel bad for myself. I feel bad for them. and I see what I can do best in that situation to win them over, because I don't need their validation.
Mm-hmm.
They are not worthy of me if somebody is judging me, right? So, I'll give you an example of something that happened, and it has stuck to me like my whole life. But I try to understand myself better after that incident. So I was at a public library studying 2 days before my 10th board exams. Okay. And the librarian kicked me out of there because I was like, playing with my hair. I was not even plucking at that time. I was just kind of playing with my hair, and I was like really stressed, extremely stressed, because 2 days later my board exam starts, right? And I just went back home and, finished with my studying anyway. And I only study like 1 month before the exam. And I scored well and everything turned out fine. But I realized something. Like that was the day I think I started realizing how other people get weirded about the whole thing. And at the time there were no wigs or anything. I used to wear a cap to avoid plucking, but it didn't always work because cap cannot cover your whole head. And basically, it was not always effective, but that was the only option I had. Um, so this is one example of it, but it does affect a lot of people around me a lot, and my relationships with them, because sometimes they don't see me as somebody who is on level with them, or sometimes they don't understand, like I said, that what they don't understand, they fear or they're scared of it. And it's but over the years, since past, I think 5-7 years, I have not had any issue per se with my relationship with people. Like even people that I've dated, never had a problem with this. I've never had an issue that somebody is not liking me because of my hair disorder. Like, and people are quite woke these days, and they are like chill and they understand all this. And body positivity, body image has been like there all over Instagram and uh, social media, and people are kind of becoming more aware of things. And because I'm so openly talking about it, and I make them feel comfortable and all, it's much better now. But it still affects my parents, especially my parents, a lot. And I don't feel like I can ever get them to my level, even though I talk about it the most with them, more than strangers, right?
Yeah.
Till date, my mom will be very excited if I ever talk about this, about healing it or whatever. And if my hair grows back for a few months, she'll be like, oh my God, I'm so happy and this and that. And they are still in that bubble where, they think, oh, I'll never get a guy. I'll never get married, or, because it's a flaw. So my cousin is getting married. He's the same age. We were raised in the same house, joint family. So we are looking for, they made a very typical arranged marriage thing. You make a biodata, right? So I was looking at other girls' biodatas for him, right? And I see a lot of women have mentioned weird things in their biodata, which is about their body, okay, as a flaw. Okay.
Okay.
Weight, 90 kgs. Should have mentioning this from beforehand. There is some scar on the hand. Something weird things. And I'm like, so when I read about those things, and I'm like, I can't believe that this is like a market, like a product, you're picking and choosing things. And
It's it's like it's supposed to be a deal breaker, but it seems like in their head it is.
Yeah, because their parents and their society have conditioned them to believe that this is a flaw, and which is why they might never get a partner. So you have to like mention this before, so if somebody's coming to you, it won't be time waste or whatever, like. And it's just so pure, like the whole thing that so when my parents started talking to me that if you don't have a boyfriend, we should also put up a biodata or whatever, for you. And then I'm like, are you going to make me do weird things like write trichotillomania as a flaw? If you're going to make me do that, we are not having this conversation. Yeah, so basically relationships do get affected. There is no doubt about it. But I have tried a lot to make people come to my page, and it has worked a lot of times. Like when you talk openly, you explain people and all, it does get better.
I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, no, I do think that body positivity might have changed and impacted the way people view these things now. Because earlier it would be like, oh my God, what is this? And people would feel very extremely uncomfortable with it. But now they are more open to understanding what it is, and there's empathy involved. So that is amazing. And Also, you being this open about it also surely helps. So, what advice would you give to someone who is struggling with trichotillomania or knows someone who is struggling?
Um, uh, mm, Couple of things here. If you have trick, you have to know that you're not alone. I have met so many of us. Same trick disorder just through like Instagram, like a small channel, but I've met so many of them. And this is so normal. I want you to know that do not let anyone tell you that you're weird or less deserving of a normal life. So many people with trick have also gotten married and have a normal career, and people will find a partner, and you will like I have mentioned, like I have never had any problem regarding dating with this, but parents have made me feel like it will be a problem. But I've dated a lot, and I mean it is not an issue, okay? But parents don't understand that because they are from their generation, right? So I know for a fact, like a lot of people that I've talked to who also have trick generally come with this issue that partner nahi mil raha hai, ya whatever, but I think it's more about how you communicate with other people about your disorder, that and if it makes them feel comfortable, they will be on board with it, and it's not like an issue. They see it as a normal thing only, because even men get hair loss and all, and which is like so normal after like 25 years of age. So I've seen it very common these days. So I don't think that hair is something which should stop you from being yourself. And to add to a perspective, like think about this, everyone has something or the other, right? Everyone is different, which means that everyone is normal. You are normal. Basically, like fingerprints, we all have a unique thing about us. 7 billion different people in this world. And do you think that uh you know how can anybody be same? You don't need to be same. Do not try to change because of society. They have unreasonable standards. It is not your job to meet them. Your job is to be truly be yourself to your full potential. And I cannot emphasize this enough. Like, stop taking shit from people who want to change yourself. Hide your face, cover your hair, and always look pretty and always look like those wives in those Hindi TV serials who wake up like they are going to a wedding, but like 7 years of makeup and jewelry on them. Just start saying no. No will be like a great word. It's like your best support. Like, it should be on the top of your tongue. No, I will not be who you want me to be. I will not pretend that I'm a Hindi serial bahu. I will not be always be covering my hair. And this is a exercise that I want you to do if you have trichotillomania. And this is going to sound bizarre, but I really want you to do this. Just walk out, go to a cafe without a wig or a cap or a scarf. Okay. Order a coffee, smile at everyone, and it will feel so great to be free. Like, for the first time, it might require some guts. When you stop giving a crap about what other people are thinking about you, you will notice everyone has that thing. Like, just look at them, observe them, and everyone wants to change themselves. And I know that you aren't judging them for their flaws, right? So at the same time, they shouldn't be judging you either. So if you stop with the pressure and just like sit somewhere without and just in your true element, it feels amazing, and you will feel so bold. You will feel like there was this huge burden on your shoulder which is like gone away. And just try this, and it's gonna be awesome. I promise you.
So, yeah. What is some advice you would give to your youngest?
My younger self, um, my younger self was very unsure about my future being so bright. I was I was stressed about my hair. I was stressed if I will ever be myself, my true self, because I didn't have a lot of resources or a platform, or um, I didn't have any space to get out, which I did eventually. Uh, but I would just want to hold my younger self's hand and be like, if you keep being yourself, there's literally nothing else I would want to say. Just keep being your true self. Never change for other people, and you will see that you're going to grow into this amazing person, and sooner rather than later. So start now.
Thank you so much. So, what is something that I might have missed out on that you wanted to talk about or wanted me to ask you?
Okay, so the part where you had told what advice would I like to give somebody who's struggling with trichotillomania, or someone who knows like someone else with the disorder? I would like to like just, cover some of the points over there. So Trichotillomania has always helped me relieve my stress. So it sounds weird, like probably to an unhealthy way of doing this to like a mental professional or a medical professional, but it has been my support in my bad times. So what has affected um, my body image is that everyone around me is being weird about it. So for example, if I if somebody is okay about their weight, or if somebody is okay about let's say they have like a nice cute beauty spot on their cheek or something like that. Okay. Generally people who are born with these things, they see themselves as normal, right? Because but it is other people who tell them that you're not normal. And that has been me my whole life, that people have constantly told me that I'm not normal. So that has definitely affected my body image. So, a lot of people ask me, ki, has trichotillomania, made you self-aware, or, were you bullied as a kid, or did you feel weird about it? But to be honest, it has always been other people around me who were more affected by trichotillomania, and has given me like really bad insecurities about my body for a very long time. So all the humans who have been with me around me, like my relatives or my neighbors, everyone had some 2 cents to give me about my hair. Okay, so this oil and some medicine, and have you should always go out in cap, because God forbid if someone sees me with my patchy hair, the world is going to end. And that created issues where I was conditioned in my head that I'm not good enough if I'm not wearing my cap. So the 13-year-old didn't feel like she could give her exams if her cap is not on her head, because the cap had become like an anchor of safety. Like one day, like the more I read about it and the more information I got, and oh my God, thank you internet, thank you Google, and thank you YouTube. I just stopped caring. I made friends with people who loved me for who I was, and I decided that enough was enough. Like I just started speaking about my trick more coolly than ever, and every new person that I met, like I've told that I introduce myself, in this way. And I tell that upfrontly in the conversation that this is a disorder I have. And usually I phrase it like, I'm cool about it. Do you want to see? And then I remove my cap and I show them that, this is how I look without my cap. So basically, if you kill their like curiosity, they also felt comfortable knowing about it. And, there's no scope of gossip. Like I've told all of these things before. And I was enough for me without my cap. And the day that happened, I took away everyone else's power over me. I took away the cap's power over me. And I just said no means no. And I will be who I want to be in my true state. And well, it has been 14 years through that. And till date, nobody can tell me what I should be doing in my life if I don't want to do it. That is so, and I'm happy. So you just need to find that click, that one day you need to be like, today I'm not going to take anybody's bullshit. And if you stop caring, things will fall into place. That is something that,
yeah. How did that transformation happen from being, a little in the shell to being this bold out?
I don't quite remember the exact moment of it, but I can tell you one thing, it was information that changed everything.
Information.
The more I read about it, the more I came to know that this is so normal. A lot of people are going through this, right? So I just realized I'm not weird. I'm not different. And I don't have to look a certain way to meet somebody's standards. It was not okay. I was just never okay with it. The minute you stop being okay with it, ki bhai, no, I'm not going to look like you want me to look. I'm not going to act the way you want me to act. I'm not going to be, if I don't want to wear my cap, I'm not going to be wearing because you are insecure, like my parents or my neighbors or relatives or whatever, you are insecure about it. Okay. Like I was just not okay with it. You have to start saying this to yourself first before you go and say it to anybody else. You close your eyes and just tell yourself, I'm not okay with this. And nobody is. All these people that I've met, they're actually not okay with it. But they just don't have the confidence or the guts to go out and do something about it. And I think if you take one step, it's just like, you need to take that one first step. Uske baad it's a smooth journey. So I took that step. Like I said, just go out, remove your hair, and just sit in a cafe and be in your element. It will take a lot of guts. It will be very weird. But if you confidently do it, it's going to feel so good. It will feel so free. It's like you have to do it to see what I see. You have to do it.
I hope someone, whoever watches it and struggles with it, is able to do that and, understand what you're talking about. Right? Because it does definitely seem from this conversation that it was one of the empowering moments for, yeah. And that is so wonderful. And I'm so proud of you. Thank you for sharing your story with us. So, yeah, we are coming towards the end of the episode. And thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing with me. This has been such a blast. I had such fun talking to you about this. And yeah, this was a really good episode. I loved it. I loved it so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, do let us know about it. Where can people find you, Aditi?
Aditi.the.alchemist. That's my Instagram handle. Aditi.the.alchemist.
We'll be linking everything down below. If you want to reach out to Aditi, feel free to do so. Our Instagram will be linked in the Instagram, and email will be linked in the description below. And we'd love to know what you think about it, what your takeaway is, and share it to someone that who might be going through trichotillomania or know someone who has been going through trichotillomania. You never know how this information might help normalize it for them. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you're listening to this on Spotify, do leave us a 5-star review. It helps us with reaching out to different people. If you're listening to this on YouTube, you know the drill. So thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. I love you. Bye.